What do you like to see as an approach to playing spin bowling?
I think you've got to be positive against spin. There's no doubt that the best players of spin are the Asian players because they're brought up on it and they're brought up on wickets that turn. And certainly looking at some of the guys who've toured in those type of countries, India, Sri Lanka, young players especially go over and really struggle on those wickets because they're not used to that type of surface. We're used to green seamers here that nip around and I think with the Asians it's about getting the bat out in front of the pad so they're never getting caught tight in here where you can give catches to short leg and silly point. So they've got good technique against spin, but they're positive against it. Your Tendulkar would sweep and use his feet, and they're all brought up to attack. And I think if we can learn anything, it's to do that, and it's also probably to practice on that type of wicket. Rough up some practice pitches. I've mentioned Tendulkar, and it was one of the series years ago when he toured Australia and he was playing against Shane Warne. And before he went, he really wanted to prepare. So what he did, he got some old pitches and just completely roughed them up with his studs. So it was maximum turn. So he practiced on the type of surface he was going to get out of it. And then when he went to Australia and Warne was on him, and he was at his peak at that time, spinning the ball big, and Tendulkar really got the better of him. But it was proper practice. It was specific to what he was going to get, and it was a positive approach, and it really worked.
More often than not in today's game you see a wide variety of different shots played to the spinner. Should everybody be trying to reverse sweep a spinner?
I don't think they should. I think what you've seen is the game has changed so much with the advent of 2020 cricket, where there's such a much greater element of risk-taking now to score big runs. And there's all the little funky shots, as you say, little reverse sweeps and slog sweeps and whatever. Because the game's changing, I think young players should practice them. If you practice it and you've got the skill, then it's in your armoury. If you do need 8 or 10 and over in a certain match, you're taking a shot out, or you can try a shot that you've actually practiced. So I certainly would recommend young players giving these things a go in practice. The key thing is, when do you use it in a match? And there's nothing worse than a player turning to something that's a big risk shot at a time when the team doesn't need it and he doesn't need it. So that's all about shot selection.
In the old days, a spinner used to be seen as the bowler that batters could really get after and try and hit. Today, in sort of 2020 cricket, spinners tend to be the more successful bowlers in terms of economy and taking wickets.
Absolutely, and I look back to, with Middlesex a couple of years ago when we won the 2020 and we had two fine spinners in Sean Udall and Murali Kartik, international bowlers, and taking the pace off, as you said, caused havoc for other teams. We were able to get through 8 overs in the middle of the 20-over game where we were going at no more than 5 or 6 and over, and sides generally never got big scores against us. The reason for it, I think, if there's consistency and there's no pace on the ball, batters try to create that speed, and it's hard. So if you're playing on big boundaries and well-set fields with good fielders, it's not always easy to score at 7, 8 and over. The quicker bowlers in the 2020 tend to fly because the pace of the ball, naturally, little outside edges and inside edges, it's hard to stop that, and the ball can fly anywhere. But good spinners are worth their weight in gold in the shorter format of the game.